Chapter 1 Geography Basics. Learning Objectives. At the end of this chapter, the students will be able to 1. To define geography. 2. To acquire an understanding of the relationship between geography and cruising. 3. Identify the continents, oceans and seas of the world in relation to cruising. Geography plays an essential role in cruising in many ways. The cruise industry offers itineraries which can be more effectively sold if they include some specific destinations. Cruise clients often decide which voyage to take according to the itinerary, not the ship or the line, especially for those first-time cruiser. Geography is relevant not only to passenger but to the cruise industry as well. The ship's staff must have an intimate knowledge of the ports they visit. Land-based personnel must understand how places impact the experience that they market and sell. Travel agents need to be fully familiar with geography, too. Their port knowledge establishes their credibility and professionalism, builds loyalty and trust, and maximizes the probability of client satisfaction. So let's explore the geography of cruising. What is geography? Geography is the study of places and the relationships between people and their environments. It seeks to understand where things are found, why they are there, and how they develop and change over time. Geographers explore both the physical properties of Earth's surface and the human societies spread across it. They also examine how human culture interacts with the natural environment, and the way that locations and places can have an impact on people. Brief historical background. The term geography comes to us from the ancient Greeks, who needed a word to describe the writings and maps that were helping them make sense of the world in which they lived. In Greek, geo means earth, and graphy means to write. Using geography, Greeks developed an understanding of where their homeland was located in relation to other places, what their own and other places were like, and how people and environments were distributed. These concerns have been central to geography ever since. Indeed, mapmaking probably came even before writing in many places. But ancient Greek geographers were particularly influential. They developed very detailed maps of areas in and around Greece, including parts of Europe, Africa, and Asia. More importantly, they also raised questions about how and why different human and natural patterns came into being on Earth's surface, and why variations existed from place to place. During the Middle Ages, geography ceased to be a major academic pursuit in Europe. Advances in geography were chiefly made by scientists of the Muslim world, based around the Arabian Peninsula and North Africa. Geographers of this Islamic Golden Age created the world's first rectangular map based on a grid, a map system that is still familiar today. In addition to the advances in the Middle East, the Chinese Empire in Asia also contributed immensely to geography. Until about 1500, the Chinese were scientifically advanced, especially in the field of astronomy. They were the first to use the compass for navigational purposes. Age of discovery. Through the 13th century travels of the Italian explorer Marco Polo, Europeans learned about the riches of China. Curiosity was awakened, a desire to trade with wealthy Asian cultures motivated a renewed interest in exploring the world. With the dawn of the Age of Discovery, the study of geography regained popularity in Europe. Helped spread geographic knowledge by making maps and charts widely available. Improvements in shipbuilding and navigation facilitated more exploring, greatly improving the accuracy of maps and geographic information. During the Age of Discovery, European nations established colonies around the world. Improved transportation, communication, and navigational technology allowed countries such as the United Kingdom to successfully govern colonies as far away as the Americas, Asia, Australia, and Africa. During the Age of Discovery, European nations established colonies around the world. Improved transportation, communication, and navigational technology allowed countries such as the United Kingdom to successfully govern colonies as far away as the Americas, Asia, Australia, and Africa. Geography also became an important part of other academic disciplines, such as chemistry, economics, and philosophy. Exploration has long been an important part of geography. But exploration no longer simply means going to places that have not been visited before. Because the study of geography is so broad, the discipline is typically divided into specialties. At the broadest level, geography is divided into physical geography, human geography, geographic techniques, and regional geography. 7 continents of the world. The widely recognized all the 7 continents are listed by size below, from biggest to smallest. Asia includes 50 countries, and it is the most populated continent. The 60% of the total population of the Earth live here. Africa comprises 54 countries. It is the hottest continent and home of the world's largest desert, the Sahara, occupying the 25% of the total area of Africa. North America includes 23 countries led by the USA as the largest economy in the world. South America comprises 12 countries. Here is located the largest forest, the Amazon rainforest, which covers 30% of the South America total area. Antarctica is the coldest continent in the world, completely covered with ice. There are no permanent inhabitants, except of scientists maintaining research stations in Antarctica. Europe comprises 51 countries. It is the most developed economically continent, with the European Union as the biggest economic and political union in the world. Australia includes 14 countries. It is the least populated continent after Antarctica. Only 0.2% of the total Earth population live here. The world's biggest oceans and seas. Oceans are the largest areas of water in the world. There are 5 oceans separated by the continents, with the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Ocean linked in the south by the Southern Ocean. The Arctic Ocean lies to the north. Each ocean has its own range of temperatures and flow of currents, but water constantly flows from one to another. Smaller areas of water, usually close to land, are called seas. There are many more than seas than oceans. Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest body of water on Earth. Located between the Southern Ocean, Asia, Australia, and the landmasses of the Western Hemisphere, the Pacific Ocean contains almost twice as much water as the world's second largest body of water, the Atlantic Ocean. Besides being the biggest water body, the Pacific is also the oldest of the existing ocean basins. Atlantic Ocean. The world's second largest ocean, the Atlantic Ocean covers about 21% of Earth's surface. Separating North and South America from Europe and Africa, the Atlantic Ocean is the youngest of the world's present-day oceans. Located in the northern area of the Atlantic Ocean is the Bermuda Triangle, with its 3 points touching upon Miami, Bermuda and Puerto Rico. Also known as the Devil's Triangle. Indian Ocean. Located between Africa to the west and Asia to the north, Australia in the east and Antarctica in the south, the Indian Ocean is the warmest ocean in the world. The Indian Ocean's large body of salt water contains a spatter of small islands that dot its continental rims, and also includes Madagascar, the world's 4th largest island. The Indian Ocean's calm surface allows for its trade routes to open up earlier in the year than the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Southern Ocean. Also known as the Antarctic Ocean, the Southern Ocean completely encircles Antarctica, flowing from west to east. The Southern Ocean is home to several species that are near extinction. Because hunting and fishing has negatively impacted the Antarctic Ocean's fragile ecosystem, the International Whaling Commission has designated an area in the ocean as the Southern Ocean Whale Sanctuary. Arctic Ocean. The smallest of all the oceans, the Arctic Ocean is completely surrounded by land, mainly Eurasia, North America, with the ocean centered approximately on the North Pole. Endangered marine species living in the Arctic Ocean. Although the Arctic Ocean is typically mostly covered by ice, both the thickness and extent of summer sea ice in the Arctic have shown a dramatic decline over the past 30 years, satellite measurements have found. Scientists have noted that these changes are consistent with the increase in temperatures of the Arctic as a result of global warming. In 2009, Bering Sea. Located between Alaska and Siberia, the Bering Sea is known as having some of the most harrowing and unpredictable weather conditions on Earth. In fact, the Discovery Channel's Deadliest Catch, a television show that chronicles the real-life adventures of 5 Alaskan king crabbing boats, takes place on the Bering Sea. The Bering Sea's weather is most unforgiving during the winter crabbing season, when winds can reach hurricane-like forces, frigid waves become violent and ice fields pose a major threat if in a boat's path. Mediterranean Sea connected to the Atlantic Ocean, surrounded by the Mediterranean region and almost completely enclosed by land. The Mediterranean Sea's name comes from the Latin word meaning, inland, or, in the middle of the earth. The Mediterranean Sea is home to some of the world's busiest shipping routes, also making the sea a prime area for marine pollution. Caribbean Sea. The beauty of the Caribbean Sea is renowned, with its clear, warm water. The Caribbean is also less salty than the Atlantic Ocean. These qualities help make it a major tourist destination. Although beautiful, the sea is also dangerous, with frequent volcanic activity, earthquakes and destructive hurricanes. Spain claimed the Caribbean Sea after Christopher Columbus came across it in 1493, making the Caribbean a main route for treasure hunting expeditions and, later on, trading. South China Sea. Located in the South China Sea are hundreds of tiny islands, with the collective cluster of South China Sea islands referred to as archipelago. These islands are mostly uninhabited, with several countries arguing over who has claim over them, most of which are located within the Spratly Islands and are valuable because they are home to rich fishing grounds as well as gas and oil deposits. These islands are claimed by China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Malaysia and the Philippines. Indian Ocean. Located between the Indian and Arabian peninsulas in the northwestern section of the Indian Ocean is the Arabian Sea. Forming part of the major trade route between India and the countries of Europe that dates back for centuries, the Arabian Sea has a rich history of merchant water transportation. Geography plays an essential role in cruising in many ways. Ports of call selection and routing is fundamental to cruise companies' success. Cruise clients often decide which voyage to take according to the itinerary, not the ship or the line. Certain places are best experienced by ship. To drive or fly from town to town in Alaska, for instance, is difficult, expensive, or, in some cases, impossible. Cruise ships, however, get around Alaska's coastal waters easily. Cruises are especially appropriate when you want to visit clusters of islands, such as those of the Greek islands, Indonesia, and the Caribbean. Air connections within these island groups are often awkward and, in the case of the smaller islands, non-existent. Travelers often prefer to visit underdeveloped countries via cruise. The ship is secure, the food familiar, the transportation dependable, and the lodging reliable. Advancing study of geography will find understanding on each destination's history, culture, ethnic groups, religion, and art is of great benefit to LINE's clients.